We made it to Wyoming. So we finally just got, we're on some BLM land, but you can't really see because it's obviously nighttime. It's 12:30ish.
Yeah, it's late. We've been trying to find a place to camp for a while now.
So yeah, the first place we stopped was super windy. And so we went up a little bit farther and we got us a decent place now. So not using the hammocks tonight because there's not any trees. So just sleeping straight on the ground underneath the stars.
In a sage flat, so.
Yeah, in a sage flat. So
I want one to just come and shed right here during the night in front of us.
So we had a very interesting moment earlier in our drive. So we flew into Denver, Colorado earlier. Mariah, would you like to tell them what we saw?
We saw the aliens, the little green men.
We saw the aliens on the way.
No, I mean, no lie. I don't know how else to explain what we saw.
It was certainly a UFO, as in unidentified flying object. I can't say that it was an alien, but
it was a large aircraft that was probably a few hundred feet long, a few miles up in the air, moving slowly, and then all of a sudden, it faded away.
So when we saw it, Mariah's like, "You're seeing this too, right?" I'm like, "Yeah,"
because I'm pretty tired.
So is it moving? So we pulled over, and and as soon as we stop and we're watching it, the thing just vanishes in midair. And you can still see all the stars, everything, and it just completely vanished.
But before it vanished, when we stopped on the side of the highway, it was moving, like it was cruising. So it wasn't just stars in a line or anything. Like they were moving, and I could see it passing in front of stars.
So
it looked like the Starship Enterprise came to visit us.
It was interesting nonetheless. So,
yeah. So now we're gonna try to sleep.
Now we're gonna sleep. Yeah. So anyways, I'll see you in the morning. Well, just getting going, getting our sleeping spot cleaned up, and here's the view we woke up to. So got some sage in the intermediate. It's got some hills on the other side. Looks more like deer country to me than elk country, but we're gonna head on up. Is that right?
Where the elk are.
Little prairie dog action. And actually, even rare sighting. Mariah has a hat on.
This is actually like once a millennial.
This man never wears hats.
Mm-mm.
Actually, a pretty sweet hat too.
And that is what's going to help us find sheds.
Let me tell you something. You gotta stick the old reliable. Perks of having an orange hat in situations like this. When I see one big single, I can leave this beside it while I look for the match, and I'll know where it's at because I might walk off from it. If not, never find it again. Secondly, when I break my ankle and get lost out here, I can just wave this around and somebody will see it.
Maybe. I couldn't see Kyle from like 30 feet away at the airport yesterday, so.
Mariah also didn't find any sheds yesterday, though, so you know.
It was a tough day. Then I saw a UFO. I'm just all over the place.
All right, so I think we found a spot. We're going to give it a shot. So, Mariah, what's your prediction for the spot for the day?
I think I'm going to find 5 mule deer sheds. Kyle's going to find 3.
That's probably pretty accurate. Mine will all be chalkers.
I think mine will be too. I think they're all going to be old.
Yeah, I think we're going to find some old stuff. I think we might find a couple of hard to whites, so I think we're definitely going to find some chalk today. I think it's mainly going to be deer. I don't think we're really going to get into the elk, but we might get surprised. So.
We're starting low, going to go up high, but we don't have but a few hundred feet elevation to go up, so. Well, we can get up into the timber, hopefully find a pocket.
So.
We got to go we got to go pull water out of cow patties and put it in our packs for the day.
Yep, that's the plan. Little mule deer, doe, deadhead. Just came by the bottom. We're sitting here talking about this hillside over here, how good it looks. Ryan's doing a little glassing.
Dude, all that sage out there mixed in the trees.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's about what we're in right now, though.
Finally on the board. First Wyoming shed. We were just heading up from the car. We're only like an hour into this hike, and it's mostly open anyway. There's this little patch of pine trees. There's some beds under it, and what do you know? Now it's just a little guy, but it is a fresh one. There, get a better look at it. Nothing crazy, but at least now we're in a place where there's elk. I walked yesterday, didn't find a single thing, didn't even get in a good elk sign, so that's a raggy, and so I don't know if there's just cows around or whether or not we'll be able to find any bigger bulls. But on the board now, I'm gonna try to match them up, do a couple loops here, and then keep heading up the ridge.
Well, I talked to Mariah just a little while ago, and he found a fresh 4-point elk, and I'm working up this ridge going towards higher ground and just spotted one. I'm coming up, kind of looking through, and I'm coming up through here, and I look over and I see, not there, here, I see this right here sticking up. Check this out. There it is. Wyoming elk. It's like a hard white. Can't beat it. Hopefully pull up a match here in a minute. So for size reference, here's the shed on my pack. So I mean, this is a pretty good sized shed. I mean, that second right there is probably a solid 12, 13 inches. It's probably my biggest elk shed I've ever found. It's a couple years old. Got a little bit of chew marks on it, but hey, cannot beat it. Little muley deadhead. Yeah, we're not gonna pack him out though. We're gonna let him be. I am just in a spot right now that is absolutely just tore up with elk rubs. I mean, everywhere you look, there's elks that have been rubbing in here. There's scat everywhere. I mean, this is no doubt there's more sign in this area than anywhere I've ever looked for elk sheds. I mean, we got scat right here. I mean, it's everywhere. I feel pretty confident, as long as we move nice and slow, take our sweet time, hopefully we'll be able to pick out an antler in all this down timber.
Been walking for a while, and I think I just found something really cool. I haven't even looked at it. Oh my. Oh, you've got to see this. It's a drop tine bull. Crazy. I mean, I just walked up the hill. There's so much sun in here. This seems like there should be sheds from this year, and I haven't found any. And that's an old one. And I was up the hill from it 20 yards and just saw what is the G1, the brow sticking out from behind a bush. And I was like, man, that looks like a shed, but I don't know where the rest of it is because it looks like the start of a good one. And I'm gonna pick it up, but I want to hear some pictures because that is crazy. That's a dream shed. But you know, it's another small one, so I'm guessing that we are still with the cows and the small bulls. I don't know where the big ones are, but I'm not complaining one bit. That is wild. Get some pictures and I'm gonna pick it up. Pictures taken. Here goes nothing. It's the prettiest backdrop behind me. Drops way off, and that is the antler. This is the just look at that. So wicked. Look at this. So it would have been on his head like that. Yeah, he would have worn it. He would have worn it sort of like this. Sort of like that. Sort of the same way I wear it. It's a stud, even though he's tiny. Oh, wow. Well, only 2 sheds of the trip. I would say that my trip is made with what will have to be probably the craziest shed I ever find in my life, because that thing is just insane. Wish it was fresh. It's chalky, but it's still hard enough. It's probably, I'm guessing, 3 years old, maybe 2. It's out here in the sun pretty good. But on the board, haven't been able to touch base with Kyle for a while, so I don't know if he's been finding anything, but I've got 2 now on the day, and covered a ton of country. It's crazy I hadn't found more, but I ain't complaining.
Well, it's about 1 o'clock now. I just had lunch, took me a little 15-minute break, and I still just have the one shed. I don't know what Mariah's found. I don't have any service to try to get a hold of him, but we are a good piece from the truck, so we're gonna start making a loop and start heading back down that way. Give us the rest of the day to get back. We're gonna meet up at 8 o'clock, so I'm probably 6 miles from the truck, crow flight, so up and down mountains, it's gonna take me a couple hours, especially the zigzagging and stuff. Hoping to pick up a couple more before I get there, so we'll see. I'm really surprised I hadn't found anything else. I bet Mariah's got a pack full at this point. He ought to. I'm coming good ways now. So I walked this ridge on the way in. I'm about to drop down off this bottom and follow these hillsides out to that big meadow out there. And I've got a long stretch straight back that direction to the car. Still got a couple of hours. I'm probably gonna hang out down there. All that down there is just a bunch of sage flats. Lower elevation, about 7,700 feet. So we're gonna ease through all this and maybe we'll get lucky.
Anything. Walked around the corner and this little guy's laying there, which is cool. I'm almost back to the car. I'm trying to get out of here. And little 4-point side. And the crazy thing is, there's blood on the base, so it's not that old. But that might be the match to the one I found, like literally a mile that way. I mean, they look very similar, so we're about to look. It'd be crazy because I mean, obviously little rag bulls are pretty common, but let's take a look. Definitely not a match, but they're twinning hard. Same side. We got 1, 2 different of these little 4-point sides. I'm not complaining. They're kind of cool. Definitely better than finding nothing. And I found that really cool one in my pack. So we'll throw these on the back. Get out of here. I know I'm probably sunburned. I can't even tell, but I feel very burnt. But look at this pretty country we're in. It's quite the view. This was the as it lay of that antler when I found it. Of course, now its buddy is there, but that's how I was laying there. Anyway, all right, talk to you later.
Kind of a last attempt for me today. I'm down in that bottom with all the sage, and I've not seen any sheds down here yet. I'm just south of the car, probably a 45-minute walk, but I'm just gonna kind of ease through this. I got a little while until I'm supposed to be back at the car, so maybe we'll get lucky and find a deer shed. That's what I've been hoping for. I walked up on another doe skeleton not too long ago. There's still a lot of elk scat out here. Who knows, might come across an elk antler too, but I will be happy with anything at this point. I am just ready to find one more antler. So I just started walking through here, and I got about right here. I looked over to my left and through the brush, I saw that right there. So I sped walk up through here like this. And when I popped out, sure enough, it's a freshie too. Gotta love it. Little small guy, but gotta love it. Droopy front on it. Ants on it. Man, yes. I am super happy about that. It's been a long day without finding much. And I'm out here in this wide open sage. I'm really not far from the car at all. I mean, the car is literally straight up this ridge right here, a couple hundred yards. And boom, we got one right here. Well, we finally just made it back to the car. Kind of looking at what we found for the day.
I surprised Kyle with the funky one.
Yeah, well, why don't you pick that thing up?
I did not tell him. I just said it was a little dinker. Look at this. It's hard to show exactly what it is, but he's got this bulb and it had broke down in velvet. Super cool. A little curly.
Sick.
Curly too.
So then I got those two, but so check this out. So the one I just picked up is a match to the one that Mariah picked up there on the hillside. So then of course got the chalk. And then this guy, I don't even want to talk about that. So way back there, I told Mariah on the phone earlier that I thought I had glassed up a shed on the opposite side of the canyon, but I wasn't sure. And as steep as it was to get over there, I was not going back over there. But that if he walked that side of the canyon, he could check it out. So he gets over there, and right at the same spot, Mariah walks around the corner, and sure enough, there's laying an elk shed right there. So I gotta try to get Mariah to give me this elk shed.
Yeah, no, I did all the legwork, and I found it. You didn't even tell me where it was. You just said somewhere in this canyon you saw one. Kyle calls me on the phone. He's like, "Yeah, I think I saw an elk shed, but I didn't want to walk over there." And I was thinking, man,
it was so
I
steep.
went shed hunting on a trip out of state with this man that won't even walk across a canyon to pick up an elk shed.
Let me tell you something. You know that canyon was steep, man. It was all rocks going down the side I was at too. I was not about it because I wasn't 100% sure that it was a shed, but I was thinking that it was one, but I wasn't going over there.
You know what changed today? Put on the lucky shirt.
Same. Shed shirts. If you don't have a shed shirt, you better figure something out.
Kyle's had that one as long as I've known him. We went at about every trip we've been on. Probably every trip.
It's a little stained up now. There's a little
mustard stains all over it.
I don't eat mustard, but it's probably like ranch or something. Check out that sunset. I've been seeing a lot of antelope on the ride over here. Trying another side of the mountain tomorrow, so